How are you guys? Welcome back to Wargaming China. And you know, this channel, what I usually talk about is my understandings of the war of resistance against Japanese aggression in China from 1931 to 1945. But today, it's a one-off day. So, as you can see, what you're looking at here is my early war, World War II German army, and it's heavily based on well, it is organised according to rapid fire wargame rules, and that's the rule set I use when I use these forces on the table. And they haven't been on the table for years now. But I initially started off and I thought, well, I want the 7th Panzer Division. So I built that. And then I thought, well, because you know how it is with German armies. If you're a wargamer, the majority of wargamers have something German. If they're 20th century gamers anyway. And there's nothing wrong with the German army. This army, for me, the early World War II, as a player, and for enjoyment and flexibility, I far prefer an early war German army, say 1939 to 41 to 42, to a late war 44-45 German army, because although all the models and the camouflages in the late war German kit are fantastic, you just don't get the opportunity for maneuver and for in-depth anti-tank battles, tank-on-tank battles, late war as you do early war. Well, that's my opinion, and that's what I always found when I used to play late war. But early war, you've got flexibility. The models are smaller, you can get around more places, and even though they have a lot more restrictions and they're not as capable, the guns, I still think early war is far more enjoyable. If I was to play rapid fire, I do prefer to play early war, World War II. So we'll start off with the well, you know what these are. These are the Airfix World War II German fallschirmjager, and I love them. I had them as a kid. I always thought they were great figures, and this particular regiment of FJ, I gave all the bells and whistles to. Plenty of motorbikes to tow the equipment, anti-tank rifles at battalion level, an engineer, pioneer, company, 1, 2, 3 battalions and a regimental HQ, and 2 of the old Airfix 2.8 centimeter cone bore guns, 2 shell hole Scenics, I believe 75mm light howitzers, and 75mm 105s, also from shell hole Scenics. I don't know if you can see them, but all with plenty of motorbikes, and a glider my mate Terry gave me. Thanks for that, Terry. And I've had plenty of games with them, plenty of good fun on the table, and although they haven't been on the table recently, I have had, as I said, plenty of games with them. I do love to get them out, and they're just about all Airfix figures with some metal figures from AB. I do like AB metal figures. The motorbikes were all Fujimis. So then you can move over here to an infantry regiment. And I wanted this infantry regiment to be able to play all the way through the war, so I gave it pack 50s and pack 75 mils, as well as the organic pack 36s to each battalion. The figures, as you can see, I'll just bring it closer. The figures well, all the figures of the 1960 released Airfix First Edition German World War II infantry, and again fleshed out with AB figures. And just still nice to have these on the table, because you know they definitely are veterans as far as plastic soldiers are concerned. They kicked off it all. They kicked it all off. So I'm gonna have a regiment there, and then I'll come around here to the artillery, infantry regiment, 2 tank battalions of Panzer 35Ts, lots of recce vehicles, anti-aircraft unit, reconnaissance unit, and Lloyd infantry unit, as well as anti-tank guns. And just to make you feel better, yes, I have stuff that's unpainted. Anyway, it's a bit dark this side of the table, the sun's not hitting this side of the room, so I think that's better. Okay, so when I built the 7th Panzer Division, I thought, well, I would like, if I added, I looked at the RF organisations in the Red Book, in Collins' Red Book, and I thought, well, if I get Panzer 1s, 7 Panzer 1s, I can play 1 battalion as Panzer 1s for some scenarios. So I did that. But artillery, because scenarios vary from scenario to scenario, I didn't want. I decided to go for 3 horse-drawn 105 guns as one battery or battalion, and then another battalion, but I got extra half track so I can field it as, like, you know, a motorized infantry. Then I've got the Austrian observer vehicles. Jeez, I can't remember the name of them. I should have prepped better. But they're metal. And then the observers. This is a radio communications vehicle. I can't remember the name of it. Captured in Austria, used in the desert, used in early war. Then over here we moved to because the 7th was a cavalry division originally. The 7th Panzer Division was a cavalry division, so its formation was a little bit different to all the other Panzer divisions. And the very noticeable thing is that its regiments already in 1940 were of 2 battalions each. And as you can see, I've got 1 lorry here with trucks, 75mm gun, 37mm pack guns, and the other side here to represent the armoured, that is part of an armoured division. 1 company with half track, and another company, instead of the gun company with a 75, an SP 150. God, it's so long since I played with the German army. You guys can tell me in the comments what vehicles were I forgot the name of, because there's going to be loads, because I didn't refresh myself. So then I've got a regimental HQ. I think you'll see that, yeah. So that's a repair truck, 2 supply trucks, a 234, a stower with AAMG, and HQ of the regiment. Now I got that ×2, and as you can see, the figures here are mainly Airfix and Matchbox. Although there are a lot of rebel. I'll try to get you close. There you go. So a lot of so 1st Battalion, 1st Regiment, mainly Airfix and Matchbox. Again, fleshed out with AB miniatures. And the 2nd Battalion, old SG, and just about anything else I could find. And again, fleshed out with AB miniatures. Now, why did I go for the 7th Panzer? As I said, I liked the OBs, and it gives you a lot of motorbikes. But also, I do like the Panzer 35T, and it's a pretty good tank early war. And as I said, with early war, when the tanks meet each other, obviously, unless you meet some in this part of the war, the French tanks and the British tanks are to a certain extent superior or just as good as the Germans. And some of the German tanks, like the Panzer Is, are just no good at all. So, as a German player in late war, you feel like you dominated the battlefield more, but early war you certainly don't feel that way. In fact, I've never beaten an early war French army with the German army in my wargaming career. Never. Not early war, not invasion of France, because the French army is superbly equipped. So Panzer 35Ts from Frontline, Panzer 2s from Matchbox, and Panzer 4s, the early type, from Airfix. Then move on. We'll go around to look at the back of those figures again. There you go. As you can see, mainly Matchbox and Airfix. Matchbox, Airfix and Italeri. And Divisional HQ. So for Divisional HQ, I wanted to go for lots of different types of communications vehicles. I love armoured cars, so I probably got too many, but they're very handy, especially when you want to play a 6-player game. And you divide your forces within 3, and each one's got to have a reconnaissance element. You need plenty of armoured cars, and there's again the old Adler armoured cars from 1939, some field staff cars, security company, and the general in charge. Then over to the anti-tank, and anti-aircraft guns. One single 20mm and 2 truck-borne 20mm, and of course the old ubiquitous Airfix 88mm guns. And then we have the actual reconnaissance battalion, and the reconnaissance battalion is 3 motorbikes, 9 figures, 3 motorbikes, 9 figures, a motorbike with a medium machine gun, a Horsch heavy car with a 75mm, a half track with a 37mm, 1, 2, 3, 4 Armoured cars in the lead company and a HQ with a 251. As I said, the 7th Division was a cavalry division, so it had a lot of extra reconnaissance elements anyway, and a lot of men on motorcycles. So there we see the battalion HQ, infantry battalion, or motorcycle borne infantry battalion, Potter truck for the 75mm, motorbike each for the MMG, half track for the 37mm, heavy car for the 75, and then 9 pops, 9 bikes, 3 for each infantry company. Nine bikes, 3 for each infantry company. And then we go on to anti-tank equipment, just 2 horse-drawn and 37mm packs, and 4 half-track towed pack 36s, 37s, and 2 SP 47mm guns from Skytrax. And then, just in case I want to get a little bit late war, some Hano mags. And just a few bits and pieces. Where's the engineer battalion? Oh, here's the engineer battalion. Engineer battalion. Truck 9 figures. I think it's SDK. I said 2517, and a Kuppelwagen. So really nice German army for early war. You'll notice I've got no Balkan crosses on, or the white crosses of Poland. Just never got around to it. Couldn't be asked. And then my sole, I have two airplanes to support these armies. Of course, it's Messerschmitt Bf 109 and HS123, because air support in war games should always be beautiful. Alright, that's enough from this channel. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you press like, smash subscribe. See ya.